everybody, so this is the Pinty Pro 1x30 red dot with a laser. Let's check it out. So before we start, let me give you a really up close, as we sit right now, look at it. Pinty is one of those Amazon off brands that make copies of stuff. Sometimes it works out well, sometimes it doesn't. Let me tell you a little bit about my history with this red dot. First of all, Pinty has paid me nothing to give this a good review. Pinty has paid me nothing to review this. I have no relationship with Pinty. This is the first and only product I've ever had of theirs, and they did send it to me for free. I have about 500-ish rounds on this optic. I would usually like to do more, but with ammo crunch the way it is, I'm not going to waste a ton of ammo on this, on reviewing an optic. Some of the specs about it. Of course, it's got aluminum housing. Comes with the nice covers, which stayed on and did not rotate as I was shooting it. It has the covered turrets with the little flat head built in, so you can adjust it. It is 2 MOA at 50 yards adjustment, and they're nice clicks for the MOA, for the adjustment. The laser itself is also powered by one of the buttons over here, and has no actual clicks, but it is adjustable on the 2 turrets right here. Now, to adjust it, you go up and down. You have the laser on, or you have the red dot on, and then you adjust it up and down. There are 6 different positions, 6 different adjustments, and then the very front button is the laser itself. Now, when I first got this, I was actually really hopeful for it. I think it has a really neat looking design. It takes a CR2 battery, by the way. It has a neat looking design. It went on, clamped right down, hasn't really moved. It's pretty clear. It is really, we're getting to a point now in red dots where the clarity is there for a lot of different things that maybe weren't there before. So the clarity of it's real good. It's got a really nice 2 MOA dot. The dot itself is real crisp. It doesn't seem to have any blurriness to it. Doesn't have any starburst to it and anything like that. So again, when I first got this, I was really hopeful for it. Now, one of the things that I didn't like about it right off the bat was I'm not a big fan of lasers. Well, period. Not a big fan of lasers unless it's IR. This is a visible red laser. But I'm also not a fan of lasers that are permanently on. I wish they were on I wish there was a switch to use the laser on this. So, because visible lights should be used in a momentary way, not on all the time. And I have the same feeling about lasers. So that was a little bit of a drawback, but I didn't really expect anything all that fancy from an $80 optic. So holding zero. It held zero. I didn't shoot it any farther, if I remember correctly, any farther than 50 yards at any given point in time, but it held zero and it kept really nice groups. Just assume I pulled that one, but that's all. There's an edge, so that's not bad considering the fact it's hurricane force winds out here today. That's high. faster. All right, let's try that. So there we go. I mean, it's smaller than the palm of my hand, smaller than my fist. So let's call that maybe a 2.5 inch, 3 inch at most, at fairly fast firing. So I can live with that. I can live with that. The laser, or the red dot was easy to see on a white target at 50 yards in bright daylight, so good for them on that. And I did a little bit of low light with it at 10 yards with the laser on from here to where, you know, simulating the position I may be in during a room entry. So laser on, putting 10 rounds on target, keeping control of the rifle. It stayed where it should be. I could get all headshots on a cardboard target at 10 yards pretty easy without even looking down the actual red dot itself. So the lasers seem to stay in place, which is a common occurrence that lasers come out of adjustment pretty easily. This one didn't seem to do so. Now, downfalls. The biggest downfall is, and while I would have liked to have seen a pressure switch for the laser, it kept shutting off. When I first took it out, it shut off on the very first round. I turned it on. I did a bore sight here at home. I set a target out at 20 yards or 10 yards, whatever it was back when I first got this, and the very first shot, laser turned off. I probably should have said something about it then. I didn't have a camera with me though. But then I was out yesterday again, and 3 times in a row it shut off. And this is not the first time or second time it's done it. It has shut off on me every time I've had it out. Okay, that's the third time. Now it does not shut off after about the third magazine, so I don't understand what the problem is, but it's staying on does not seem to be the most reliable thing that I've had on this rifle. Now it is because of this. It is because of the problems I've had with it staying on that I cannot suggest this. Normally in a review, I do not suggest or I do not discourage people from buying something, and I do not outwardly promote people to buy something. I either give it a good review or I give it a bad review and tell you to make up your own mind. But with it turning off, understanding that my experiences are not necessarily 100% of the experiences, but with it flickering and with it turning off on its own, I cannot suggest anybody purchasing this optic. Again, I had high hopes. I thought it looked nice, had a real crisp dot, real clear, easy to adjust. The laser stays adjusted and all that stuff. But if it won't stay on, then it's just a rock that you've bolted to the top of your gun. And so that's sort of the end result for this review. It's a rock that I bolted to the top of my gun. So I will put a link in the description below, an Amazon link. If you want to go check it out for yourself, go for it. If you want to take the gamble for yourself, go for it. Again, my experiences with this optic does not mean it's 100% of everybody's experiences. So you may have better luck. But until then, this is coming off my rifle. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description below, and we'll talk to you later.